Still in East Africa, the dream to forge a united East Africa was mooted several years ago with a vision giving birth to the establishment of the East African Community. Over the years, the bloc has, however, faced a myriad of challenges, especially economic and political tailbacks. Tanzania has been branded the black sheep and blamed for allegedly dragging her feet on matters to do with the regional bloc. But is the EAC simply a mirage? KTN'S Francis Ontomwa now reports on these hanging bottlenecks and why the discussion is now a top feature in the presidential campaigns in Tanzania.
Tanzania President Jakaya Kikwete is just back from a 3-day state visit to Kenya, during which he addressed the Kenyan Parliament, and the East African agenda was part of the program. The vision of a united East Africa goes back to as far as the 20th century, a dream conceived to unite its East African people right from independence.
During the run-up to the independence, Nyerere had even offered to delay Tanzania's independence so that we could come to independence together with Kenya and Uganda and form a federation.
That dream was not to be at the time. In 1977, the union collapsed to be revived later in 2000. There are hiccups that have made it difficult to achieve what was originally seen as a potential precursor to the establishment of a single sovereign state.
One of the problems we have had in the region now is the problem of confidence building within the region, and then to build a consensus among the countries on certain key issues to move forward. We got to the point where we say the coalition of the willing. You start having a coalition within a coalition of countries. That's not a very good place to be.
Despite being the land where the dream was born and a good chunk of its infrastructure set up, Tanzania has been viewed as the unwilling partner in an agreement that has Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda and Burundi famously touted as the coalition of the willing.
Now in the region we have other countries that are doing well. As a country, obviously you have to fear, because you are in a relationship with other countries that are doing well in terms of economically, doing well economically. Now who is to be blamed? We have to blame ourselves. That while with all these resources we have in the country, everywhere in every part of the Tanzania when you go, wherever this country is very rich, extremely rich.
Tanzania is accused of imposing heavy work permit fees on residents of other EAC member states. The East African nation is also opposed to the use of national identity cards as travel documents within the EAC. Some observers think it has everything to do with the political leadership. Will the forthcoming regime change be a boost to the East African community?
Nchi ndogo kama Rwanda, Malawi, Kenya, wanaendeleza sisi tunaweza kubadilika. Hapana, tutaanzisha ya Tanzania tutafanya kazi kibiashara.
Leadership again is a matter, is something that matters a lot. So as we are going to vote this year, it's my call to Tanzania that we should actually make sure that we vote in people who really transform Tanzania from where we are.
Power struggles among the EAC member states has also been cited as a reason for the effective collapse of the regional bloc, with some countries seen as pests hanging onto the coalition of the willing to run away with the huge trade benefits.
If we really want to forge, we need to harmonize our policies. What policies are in Kenya for youth? Are they going in tandem with policies that are in Tanzania, are in Kenya, in Uganda? Because if they are different, or these policies differ, it's quite impossible to harmonize certain situations, certain efforts.
Tanzania has just over half of the landmass of the EAC, but less than half under agriculture. With a population explosion underway, some argue that Tanzania may have fear that under a new federation, there could be great pressure on it to open its gate to workers from neighboring countries and its land to foreign buyers or leaseholders.
For African countries, not only East African, it's very fundamental that we cooperate. We build economic integration, which will give us collective power to bargain, to also nurture our young economies, to protect our resources collectively.
So how can the EAC be salvaged? Analysts have accused the member states of being involved in counterproductive trade deals. Tanzania's newfound economic partnership with Burundi and the Democratic Republic of Congo on infrastructure development, an example. On the other hand, Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda and South Sudan are cooperating on the multi-billion standard gauge railway. Although faced with its own internal challenges, some observers reckon that trying to sideline Tanzania in the EAC integration will amount to trying to stage Hamlet without the prince. Francis Ontomwa, KTN News, Dar es Salaam, Tanzania.